Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about my reading plans for the month of January 2025. I'm participating in a number of reading events and ongoing reading projects, and I'd just like to talk a little bit today about my plans for January. First of all, the Pineiro Project will be continuing into 2025. We are still reading and discussing Thursday Night Widows, and we will be continuing to discuss this through the first week of January. In mid-January and going into the beginning of February, we will be reading Elena Knows. This is probably her most famous novel in this country. Many members of the group have already read this. Many people read it last year when I think it was a finalist for the Booker Prize, but this will be a first read for me. I've talked in a couple of videos about how I'm hoping to join in on a project that my friend Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads is proposing for the entire year. Greg proposes to read all of Marcel Proust's In Search of Lost Time. This is 6 volumes. I have agreed to sign on for volume 1, Swan's Way. We'll see how this goes. I've never read Proust, so depending on how this goes for me, I may be in for the long haul, or I may just read volume 1. But I've committed to read volume 1, and we will be reading this throughout January and much of February, well into February as well. My in-person book group is in the process right now of reading Louise Erdrich's newest novel, The Mighty Red. We will meet in the middle of January to discuss this. We had actually already, when we met in December, we chose our January and our February book. So we'll be talking about this mid-January. And then our next book is going to be one that is a reread for me, Shelby Van Pelt's Remarkably Bright Creatures. This is a novel that I read when it first came out. There are several members of the book group who hadn't read it yet, and this was our selection for mid-January into mid-February. So that will be a wonderful reread. I'm looking forward to that. I loved that book. I am joining this year, when I can, a new project that's been created by my friend Mariandrea, whose channel is Books and Bocadillos. She has created a wonderful event, and I'm going to put her announcement video in the notes below. But this is a wonderful reading event or project whereby we will be reading the works of Latina and Latino writers, one novel each month for the duration of the year. And the January selection is Valeria Luiselli's novel Lost Children Archive. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to put, as I said, Mariandrea's a link to her announcement video about the entire project in the notes below, and all of the works that she's proposing to read throughout the course of the year will be included in that video. And she also has a Discord channel, and there's a group set up in the Discord channel to discuss all of these works. I have also decided to join in whenever I can in my friend Angelia's project. This is going to be a year-long project called Endless Drama. Angelia at Read and Reread is proposing a project in which we will read 2 dramas each month for the course of the year. The first reading, and this is for the first half of January, is George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. And I think it is proposed that we read this in the first 2 weeks of January, and then her proposal for the second half of January is a play that I do not yet possess, but I believe it is available on Project Gutenberg. Actually, I think many of these plays are going to be available on Project Gutenberg. But the second half of January will be devoted to the play R.U.R., which stands for Rossum's Universal Robots. And this is by Carol Capek, I think it is, or Capek. I'm not sure how that is pronounced. That's for the second half of January. And Angelia also has created a Discord channel and a group on that channel for the discussion of these plays. And I'm going to put Angelia's announcement video in the notes below as well. The next book that I'm going to talk about and that I propose to read in January is one that hopefully will meet requirements for 2 events. I've been so excited all this past year or the past 10 months that I've belonged to BookTube. I've been really excited by people's videos and discussions of their readings for Historathon. This is an event that was created by Vin at Revenant Reads, and he is joined in this event by several wonderful co-hosts, all of whom I will list in the notes below. But this is a project where the year is basically divided into 4 periods of history, one for each quarter of the year, and participants are invited to read a work of history that pertains to that particular to read a book that pertains to that particular quarter of history. And then there is another event that is just starting up, and this is for the first time, and this is by my friend Robert G., reader of books, and he's created an event devoted to reading about the Roman emperors. I thought that for the first quarter, I would try to read Mary Beard's Emperor of Rome. And this would certainly fit the first quarter that Vin proposes, and all of the dates will be in the announcement videos that I'm going to include below. This would certainly fit the first quarter of history, but it would also fit Robert's new event on reading about the emperors, the Roman emperors. So I'm proposing, I don't believe I will be able to complete this in January, but I certainly think I can read it during the first quarter of the year, January, February, and I've talked in a number of videos throughout the last 10 months about how I have been enjoying the reading of a lot of classic science fiction. And I learned relatively recently that a project that my friend Shawn D. Standfast initiated this past year is going to be continuing into 2025. Shawn's favorite science fiction writer is Clifford D. Simak, and he has been leading discussions of Simak's novels throughout 2024. And he has just put out an announcement video about the works that he is proposing people read and discuss in 2025. And the book selected for January is The Goblin Reservation. And I would very much like to join in and participate in this event, at least for January. I've had this novel for a few months. I've been just sort of very, very interested in classic science fiction writers, and I first read Simak this summer for Rocket Summer, and I have this book on hand, and I'd love to join in. And again, I'll be putting Shawn's announcement video in or link to it in the notes below. Throughout 2024, I was reading banned books as part of the Read 24 in 2024 Banned Book Challenge, which was created by my friend MJ at Reading This Life. MJ is proposing that we continue the challenge into 2025. And she also started another group called I'm with the Band, and this is devoted to reading a specific banned book each month. The book for January is Toni Morrison's Beloved. This is a novel that I have read several times, and in fact, I made a video about this when I was a brand new booktuber last February. This is also a book that we taught, and this is a book that I will gladly reread with the I'm with the Band book club, because this is an incredibly important American novel, and it's one that continues to be challenged in several states throughout the country. Additionally, I hope to continue with my Poetry Thursday episodes. A couple of weeks ago, I had asked for some suggestions from viewers of some themes that I might include, and I received a lot of great suggestions. I've been working on those, throughout December, and I'm going to continue that into January and probably into February as well. And then I have my own sort of comfort reading project that is going to be continuing. I've been reading and rereading, in some cases, Agatha Christie novels and stories, and focusing particularly on the Miss Marple stories. And I think for January, I'm going to start dipping into Miss Marple, the complete short stories. And I may have read some of these stories, but I'm not sure, but I know I have not read this volume, so this will be a first for me. And so that's my ambitious plan for for January, but a lot of these things I think are going to continue into February and some even into March. But I'm looking at this stack of books with great enthusiasm for all of these events, and I'm ready to begin a new year with exciting and enlightening reading, and I hope that you'll join us in some of these events. And again, I'll be putting links to all of these events, as well as hosts and co-hosts, in the notes below. So let me know in the comments if you plan to participate in any of these events, or what you're planning to read in January. I'd love to hear. So that's January. I hope that's January. I hope this isn't too ambitious. And as I said, a lot of this is going to continue into February as well. So that's it for today. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.